same time I was doing a whole load of stuff for the British Fantasy Society, which you might not have heard. It's a literary society based in Britain, obviously. I'm the chair of the society now. I took over in September this year.
Are you comfortable?
Because I'm mad. Yeah, it's horrendous. Honestly, it's horrendous. But we're getting it back on track and pulling it all round and sorting out stuff for them. So I was doing actually special publications for the BFS during all this period, and I was publishing books for them with people like Grant Masterson and Tom Holt, and we did a guide to the multiverses of Mike Moorcock from another author. I mean, we were doing all these kind of like fun and funky books and stuff through the BFS available to members and stuff like that. And there kind of came a point where I think I pitched 2 or 3 or 4 things to the BBC of books I wanted to do, things I'd like to do, and they just weren't interested. They were just not interested. And I was like, oh, that's a bit of a shame, why? I can't tell you that, just not interested. And I thought, well, I want to do something, I want to publish stuff, I want to do stuff. So what then happened was, I don't know if you remember, but in the 90s there was a kind of like almost like a gold rush for domain names. Do you remember like the domain name gold rush? Unless you bought your domain name, then you might not have it, and you might not own your own name as your domain, and all this kind of stuff. So this was kind of going on in the 90s, and the internet was slowly starting to sort of really ramp up and take off. It still amazes me actually that 1996 is when John Pertwee died, and the book I did with him came out in end of 96, because he died in May, and the book came out in September, October of that year, in 96. And in 1996, I didn't have any internet access. Because I was talking to my friend Peter Angelides, and he was online, and he was kind of collecting all the comments about the John Pertwee book from Reckhart's Doctor Who, if you have that.
Oh my God.
That pit of despair and horror, as I discovered later on. And he was collecting all the stuff. So it's quite incredible to think that, at 96 I didn't have internet access. So anyway, so at the end of the 90s, I thought, okay, domain name, got to get my domain name. So I decided I wanted How's Who, because that was the name of my column in Doctor Who magazine that I'd kind of been doing, that I quite liked. So I bought How's Who. And then as you do, you just, I wonder what else Scar wrote. Oh, no, that's not. TARDIS. Oh, no, that's not. Doctor Who. Oh, that's not. That's Diagon. Oh, that's not. Tell us. Oh, it's available. Good Lord, I thought that. Tellos.co.uk. Well, that's good. It's short. It's only 5 letters. It's easy to remember, and it might come in handy. So I bought it. So I thought, well, I'll get that. So I got that at that point. Then what happened was I'd always wanted to do Doctor Who merchandise guide. So I'd always wanted to do that. And back at home, I've got files from 1980 when I was pitching a Doctor Who merchandise guide to the BBC. Now, 1980 was when they were doing like the Doctor Who Underpants guide, and my favourite Doctor Who recipes book, and Doctor Who once looked at me a list, and these books were all coming out, and you think, it's a shoo-in, of course they're going to, but no, nobody wanted to publish a Doctor Who merchandise guide, and I took it around the BBC, Fox Tree, Virgin, everybody, nobody wanted to do it, so I thought, sod it, what the hell, put it to one side. And then a couple of weeks later, I got an email, got a letter, as you did in those days, out of the blue, from a chap in America called Arnold T. Blomberg, saying, did I want to do a Doctor Who merchandise guide? Because he worked for a collectibles guide company, and they'd be very interested in publishing a Doctor Who merchandise guide. Oh, so I got in touch, and we started corresponding, and we thought, well, we started to build it up, and got it all together, sorted, and these companies didn't want it. Oh, goodness sake. So we then had a completed guide, but nobody wanted it. Nobody would buy this guide. And I thought, well, this is ridiculous. We've done all this work. We might as well just publish it ourselves. We might as well just do it ourselves. So we put together the book, House Toy Box, first edition, and we thought, I had this book, and I thought to myself, right, okay, now I've got to try and sell this book. How do I sell this book? This was about 1999, I think, 98, 99. How do I sell this book? Well, what I could really do with is a web page, because you can put it up on the web page and then tell people about it and stuff like that. Right, okay, so we need a web page for it. Oh, I've got a tellos.co.uk domain name. That's handy.